A Saturday moving day at the Mediheal HANKOOKILBO Championship. This is round number 3 from Club 72. The field's cut down from the 120 players that began to just 62 who remain, all in pursuit of a $1 billion prize pool. The person currently in pole position to take it is the one who had done so the first time we ever played this competition. Chung, the winner back in 2022. A 67 in the opening round, 66 yesterday, and on hole number 7, she is currently 2 under for the day. Young in a tie for 10th position. She is through 14 holes playing at the back. It is a 5 under score for her. And some really good golf to once again make a weekend push just as she had done last week. Ijumi, our defending champion, she did just and only just make the cut at 1 under. She is +2 today, however, and down in 60th position. So it looks like there will be no repeat here at this event. Hanshin Sun, she's up 11 positions after her round of 69 yesterday, on 13 at 9 under and tied for 10th at that score. Yang Hyojin, the only amateur to make the cut, which means regardless of how this weekend goes, she will finish as our low am. She is at 2 under on hole number 14 for her round. 21 degrees and sunny today with a 1.9 meter per second wind out of the west, and we'll head out to the course. It's Kim So-yoon too, who was blistering hot in the opening round with a 63, was only able to muster up a 71 yesterday. She is even on number 7. And then Song-yi, as she looks for birdie on the par 3, a long way out. Going to run this up the hill to get it started. Double digits, the meters remaining. She plays it within 1. To 7, Chung Yoon-ji. Even today, she started the day as the co-leader at 11 under par. And she's going to work that one online and record birdie number 1 today. It took 6 to get her started, and is within 1 of Park Ji-young, who she was sharing the top spot with when they began their rounds today. Cho Ae-yeon next to play at 8. For a share of the lead. And that reaction says it all. Even if we couldn't see the ball go in the hole, we could certainly hear it. Back-to-back birdies for her now. Add in 1 at 3, and she is on pace for a 33 on the way out. Pressure in the holes just in front of her. Park Ji-young with a chance to take that lead back moments after losing it, at least it in its entirety. Settle for her par and be off to the par 3 next. Bangshin Shil at 2 under for the day. On number 9. The gentle breeze at her back. Be a very makeable putt for a birdie. Putting her opening 9 under the microscope a little bit. Birdie's at 3 and 5. And no bogeys as of yet. Of course, playing a lot kinder than it was yesterday. It was a very difficult set of pin placements with the wind and some of the other weather factors. It was anything but leisurely Friday walk. Eight iron, the club of choice. She has parred this hole every time she's played it. One birdie at 12 and one at 16 on Friday and Thursday respectively, but these par 3s on the front 9 just has not quite had a full read on them. Joyanne starting to find her stride. No wins for her last season after recording 2 in 2022. About 27 holes away from trying to end the streak. Similar case for Park Ji-young as it is for Chung Yoon-ji. Only one birdie on the par 3s so far this week. She'll have a really solid opportunity to add in another. Very well played with the iron. And trying to convert Pang Xin-shil at 9. Yes, she's got it. Sharing a podium spot now, out with a 33. We're here in the Chung district of Incheon, called the Gateway to Seoul, of course, the capital. And making ourselves nice and comfortable on the island that also hosts the Incheon International Airport. If you did not join us over the first 2 rounds, you will get used to very quickly the sounds of the airliners coming and going. Jen not quite ready. Let's see if Choayon is.
네, 감사합니다. 좀 더 나와주세요. 감사합니다. 네, 하겠습니다.
Downhill and running it ever closer to the pin. It's going to be similar to what Pang Xin-shil just navigated. It's good on. Be 146 meters for An Sung-yi. Add in a little draw, but you want to be mindful of that. The sand and the water. Plays a little bit more aggressive and it ends up costing her. Now Chung looking to go back to back, but downhill and into the wind. Quite the combination. And she does indeed stop just a bit short. Chung in with her par, and our co-leader is next.
들어가겠습니다.
Tricky one, this. She's anticipating a little right to left break. And she's read it well and executed even better. Restores the advantage with her third birdie in the first 8 holes. It was dialed in. Starting to settle in nicely to this third round Saturday. A 7-time winner, a 1-time major champ. Coming off a tied for 19th result last week. It was her 3 over par score that really kept her out of the running. She struggled with the opening rounds each in the last 2 tournaments. So he digs in. Big blast to get it up and out of the beach. And to about 6 meters or so past. Chung quickly onto the next with driver. Swung out of her shoes and sacrificed the line. Rolls off into the fairway trap. Beg your pardon, it was Young to shoot first out of the sand. Now An Sung-yi. Both finding that same ribbon bunker. That's exactly what the prior shot was hoping for. Got that so well. The delicate balance of the power to get it up, but not too much to go too far. It ends up being a good sand save. G outed to the fairway with no problems. And Choyan looking for her birdie. Big snap to the right. Might have even started a bit too early. No, levels out. Really nice putt. Looked like that was going well and clear to the outside of the hole, but our scout pays off. 3 birdies on the bounce, and we'll head to the 10th tee, once again sharing the lead. Watch it. About there it starts, and you're wondering if it's going to hang on. Young, what a round yesterday, 65 to bring her back into contention. This, however, trying to save a par. 4 meters out. Nicely played off the flagstick. She's out with a 34. Her bird's at 3 and 7, a par 5 and a par 4. It is within 3. One of 2 bridges connecting Chung Island, where we are now, to the city of Incheon. Use this opportunity to update you on the race to the Wemex Championship. Pang Yumin leads by over 200 points. Kim Chae-hee, Pang Shin-chil 2nd and 3rd, EA1, and Park Young 4th and 5th. There's the lay of the land for Park Ji-young. So we'll wait to play this second shot. Chung Eun-ji is ready in the meantime. The approach game has been really the only thing holding her back from being nearly uncatchable in this tournament. 88th in strokes gained in that department. decent little effort there, and this a bit of deception. He's got the fine line towards the left, got to clear the water to 154 to be precise, and would have enjoyed a bit more backspin, but lost that opportunity by being in the trap. She'll roll to the back of the 9th green. That leaves Kim So-yoon 2. Last check of the wind. She knows what it's doing at the flag. She does not know how much it will affect her in the unguarded fairway. Eight consecutive pars so far on Friday. She did birdie this 9th on Thursday, though a very different pin placement then. Also struggles to get it down and stopped. She is the furthest from the pin, but each of the 3 are on in regulation. Meta Soma on 10, and check out this backspin. It's about the same distance she was away from the pin when she landed, now in front of it. And over the course of the first 20 minutes, we've seen the lead change 3 times. Choi-Young taking it from Park Ji-young. Park Ji-young reclaiming it. Choi-Young going to make it a tie once again. Those two will be thoroughly entertaining to watch over the course of their back 9. And keeping an eye as well on Park Young up 18 positions with a 5 under score, on pace for a 67, and still has 3 holes to play. This is the 3rd round coverage of the Mediheal HANKOOKILBO Championship, live from Club 72. Glad to see the camera operators are enjoying how close we are to the international airport as I am. Korean Air landing. Park Ji-young trying to stick the landing on this putt, but Kim So-yoon too trying to stick the landing on this putt, but sending that off to the right. Shil in a bit of trouble with that second shot, trying to reach into at the distance, but sent that off it to the rough. Still will count for her as a green in regulation. Now Park Ji-young's turn, and just lost the line at the very end. She'll tap in for a par. Chi with a really well worked birdie. Bravery rewarded. She goes to 12 under, tied for third. Chung Yoon-ji, the last chance for birdie at 9. And she'll move within 1 to begin the back 9. That is now 7. And 9, the circles on the scorecard before turning the page. Currently 10 under at 10, Mata Som. So up she goes. 11 under is becoming quite the popular score, so we will need to update the leaderboard with all the action going on around us. Officially half a round to go on this moving day Saturday. Another stunner here in Cheonggu. It is Cho Ayeon, Park Ji-young, 14 under. Chung Yoon-ji, now 13 under. Mata Som, Pang Shin-sil, Lee Ga-young, and An Sung-hee at 11 under par. Hong Ji-won and Kim So-yoon 2 completing the top 10, completing the top 9, excuse me. Everyone double digits under par. And Lee Ga-young's approach just beyond the fringe by a stride or two. A 73-meter approach for An Sung-hee. Goes just beside the previous shot we watched, and she avoids the sand this time. Joyon, last to arrive. Backspin takes it back to the fringe.
플레이하겠습니다. 누르지 말아주세요, 이제.
The Mediheal zone on number 10. Our round by round charitable donation targets on holes 1 and 10. And Joyon, despite being the furthest from the hole, the first one to find a birdie. Now the outright leader, that is 4 in a row. Absolutely dialed in right now. Young putting to the corner, and that started right for her and stayed there. And now on Sung-yi. Yes. Got that fist in the air in celebration before the ball even dropped, and that's why she's so excited. It's her first one since hole number 4. Mata Som. It's a really nice slide to the right. Considering the wind, that is an excellent shot. And Bang Xin 11 under at 11. She goes right at the pin as well. We showed you earlier the current leaderboard for the race to the WeMix Championship, but if you're still learning about the competition, bonus We Made points for the top 10 every week. And at the end of the season, the top 60 players in these WeMix points rankings based on how everyone scores week in, week out with a 1.2 time bonus for the major championships. 500,000 WeMix cryptocurrency on offer in that competition. And the 2024 KLPGA Tour winner, based on the points, will take home an additional 20 million. The monthly MVP will get a cash incentive as well. Park Young on for another top 10 finish. Could see that number continue to improve. Second shot on 10, 240 meters. Very easy wedge shot, though the pin placement makes it significantly more challenging today when doing no favors either. And Mataso. Wonderful bird shot to get onto the green, and a consecutive birdie to take her to 11 under par. And Park Ji-young second. Just plays the iron, not looking to reinvent the wheel. Taps in as well. 4 birdies now today. She and Mata Som to 12 under par, and Sung Yi sticking around there as well. Tied for 4th, Chung Yun-ji, 2 back, Park Ji-young 1 back of our leader Cho Ayan, and it is now hole 18 for Park Young-young, one last chance to birdie and move into double digits under par. We'll take a quick break, and when we return, we will have more from Club 72. This 3rd round Saturday at the Mediheal HANKOOKILBO Championship. 1:47 local time at Club 72, and the early stages of the back nine. It begins with this very playable par 5 today. Chung Ji, yet another scintillating approach shot. Choi on a 50-degree wedge. And getting a nice little push down closer to the pin. Choi on just playing at a different level than just about anyone else in the field. Bak Ji-young doing her best to keep pace. This is her shot on hole number 10, 61 meters, just about all the way to the end of the fairway. A little left to right breeze. Didn't want to tempt fate going over the bunker at all. And that zips to the right. Come on at 11. Call that decent for An Sung-yi. And Kim So-yoon too. Three very nice approaches. We'll see which can turn into birdies. Looking for some answers as she wipes off the front face of that half-moon putter. No birdie for her. Can she do it again? She's showing us no signs of slowing down. Count them up. That is 5 in a row as Choi-young goes to 16 under par. celebrating the birdie of her own. Acknowledges the support as she has her first birdie of the day here at number 10. So 330 meters this par 4 up and over the cliff to begin. Landing in the fairway, 80 to 55 meters to the front of the green, our averages, excuse me, so far in the tournament. Then the massive bunker to the right with the stone in the middle, and then continuing on down to the putting surface. Today, sort of diamond shaped if you use your imagination a little bit, and as we've seen time and time again, back right pin placement today, 11 yards, excuse me, from the back fringe and 5 from the right.
샷! 기가 막히네.
So you two with a ripped drive down into the fairway to begin us. Next up is Chung, who is 10th in average driving distance so far this season, 249. That's 12 points above the average. She goes a little long and rolls to the border with the rough. Now her driving accuracy so far needs a little bit of work. Up by 10% last week, but around 50th. Sponging Chill. It's about 6 feet past the hole. Not one single thing to take issue with so far today. And as she waits her turn at the par 3, 12th tee, keeping the mood light. There was a lot of ground to cover. Ramanta's home, and she gets just a couple of feet away for a tap-in par. Let's take a look at this birdie bonanza so far for Cho Ae-yeon. She had already found one before number 7, but this is when it started to really pick up. This was the most impressive just yet. Quite the pop from the gallery, as she was just able to hang onto the line long enough for a massive birdie, both in terms of its momentum it created and the distance she had to cover. 9 made it 3 in a row, then on 10 from the fringe, left to right, and still dialed. She goes 6 for 6. Or does this slight pause affect her concentration? That's perhaps what got it. Hung-Shin Shield here. The moment we've been waiting for Cho Ae-yeon. This 173-meter par 3 begins. She goes to the center of the fairway, and this would even challenge her birdie at 10. So-yoon 2. She's gonna get the push. 2 meters at the maximum between she and a birdie. This time, it's a bit too much carry. Chung Yoon-ji, she'll keep on rolling until she butts up against the fringe. Now Park Ji-young from the end of the fairway, marginally into the first cut of rough. She saves the best for last. That should be a tap in to catch right back up to Jo Ayan if she can start putting a little run together, because the gap as it currently stands is 2 strokes. She and Chung Yoon-ji both on the green at number 11 now, and will be one should be confident that a birdie is on the horizon. The other will have to work much, much harder for it. Putting back up towards the pin. She nearly was able to secure that bird, slightly off. It's a tap in par. From off the green. And Sung able to chip it up to 2 or 3 feet. She's playing some steady golf. She's just not able to keep up with Jo Ayan at the minute. Kim So-yoon 2 has her birdie. 2 under now on the day, back to back. Great start to the back 9. She moves into that tie for 5th. And Jo Ayan just pacing out the distance to her aiming point. So the streak is over. It had to end at some point. Though it's a formidable effort considering how far out she had been. Not going to rush the par putt either. Young, this is looking slow. And not even going to make it to Han Song-yi's ball marker. She was certainly playing cautious. And a 2-putt par confirmed.
Nice par.
Jo Young stays perfect, no bogeys.
조현 잘한다.
Takes a break from the birdies after a brilliant run to make her advantage 2. And just as she exits the 12th green, our featured group is just arriving and preparing their 2 shots.
네, 알겠습니다.
That is misjudged by Kim So-yoon too. divide the green into two halves. She's on the front and will need a mammoth putt to reach the pin.
플레이하겠습니다. 카메라 소리 안 나게 해주세요.
Walk down commences. Let's see how Cho Ayan kicks off this par 4 13th, first of 3 in a row in the heart of the back nine. Lost it for a moment by the cart path, but she rolls down into the fairway.
네, 어떻게 보고.
And the last try on 12 belonged to Chung Ji, and she was not able to find the green with her hybrid. The Cho Ayan has her lead descend to 1. Pak Jiyoung with her birdie at 11. And the birdie streak snapped, excuse me. Speaking of birdies, Pak Jiyoung did get one in the final few holes, but was not able to eclipse the double-digit mark. She's tied for 9th, a 67 confirmed on this Saturday. We'll take a quick break. We'll come back shortly to Club 72 as our moving day coverage will resume after the break. A splendid Saturday afternoon and in Chung. So great to have you along with us. We head to the par 3, number 12. 189 yards, 173 meters, and using every one of them with his back left pin placement today. Chung trying to go up and down from off the green and keep herself very much in the hunt. The birdie ensures that 14 under score is sustained. Next to play will be Choyan. She is perched up on the hill. It's a tricky one. Ball's about 20 centimeters above her feet in her stance. A left to right wind. The flag is bent with how much the breeze is playing right now. You can hear the gallery and their shouts for a stop. That would have been the perfect approach one hole ago. And we'll leave her with some work to do here, however. And that too, just a few millimeters off right. Really, really well played. But for Bak Ji-young, it will also be a par for her on number 12. She stays at 15 under. Pin high as it lands and comes to a rest for An Sung-yi. The aerial drone tour of this par 4, 370 meter par 4. We go from the longest par 3 of the round to the longest par 4. Plays a little bit shorter. There's two different ways to attack. You go left of the cart path, and you have a much flatter rundown, 15-meter drop. Or you play to the right fairway, which is the much more common route of attack. From there, 2 bunkers in a line, 3 pot bunkers at the back. And the pin today officially 13 yards from the front of the green, 14 yards from the right fringe, just above that little change in elevation. We've not seen anyone play the cut into the right fairway at any point today. Everyone's heading left. In fact, only 4 all week have been right at the cart path. That looks like it might be about to change. Kim So-yoon too? Perhaps not. Kim's close, but rolls all the way down through the fairway and into the rough. The shouts of 4 and the impact with the tree, never a good sign. Don't believe that involves anyone in the top 10, but we'll see if we can figure it out. Bak Ji-young's caddy has her driver in hand. Going with a bit of a layup here, especially after seeing or hearing of what happened with Kim So-yoon too. Looks like she made the right decision to pick the club, though she too will just be off the fairway. Very narrow if you go much more left, and then you're playing even more blind than you are normally. Chung has the big stick. Averaging 236 meters per drive, 39th highest on tour. And she'll be the only one to find the fairway in regulation. This is Choyan's uber long putt. Back towards the hole. It's about 2 meters to its outside right. Sung-yi, this to take her into a share of 3rd position. Just didn't hit it hard enough. A full meter short. First of 2 par putts now. First of 3, excuse me, par putts now. Right to left, and just enough of the center to see it fall. Choyon secures hers as well. That is a exasperated reaction to the miss from An Sung-yi. So it is a 3-putt bogey, her 2nd of the day and first since hole number 6. And that promotes Mata Som Kim So-yoon 2 and Lee Ga-young to 4th position. Chung first to attack. Just a couple of meters away. That was a master stroke in how to play the wedge. Let's take another look. Split the distance between the front of the green and the pin, and then just softly coming to a halt. Next up will be Park Ji-young, and she starts this off in the rough. Not too buried, but definitely going to need a bit more strength to reach. And she bounds off that stretch of fairway. Has an excellent approach shot as well. And we'll view all the way down from the reverse angle. High lofted pitch, absorbing the speed and settling in nicely.
네, 알겠습니다.
So assuming she has no problems finalizing the hole, she'll be level with Choi-yeon at 16 under par. That's just a few moments ago. The roars you hear for the approaches that we just witnessed. And a cheeky lookout in the background. The Incheon Bridge, 21 kilometers long, connecting Incheon and this Yeongjong Island. That plays host for us for the Mediheal HANKOOKILBO Championship. And lots of players inside the top 16 still out on the course, so some movement. Certainly, let's call it an inevitability, easy for me to say. The lead not secure by any stretch at 16 under par. We rejoin our featured group on number 13. Chung, after a really well executed approach shot, has this uphill putt to move back into a share of the lead. And she's got it to go. It started to look like it might fall offline, but hangs on just long enough. She has not had consecutive birdies all day long, but 5 through 13 is a pretty good average. So now our co-leader, and the approach game just starting to let her down slightly. She's been dialed with the putter, but asking for a lot from it. Chung is mystified. She looks off the green as if there was a noise or something that might have affected her enough for a miss, but she's certainly stunned by the result. Now Young. She's gonna roll back onto the green, in danger of getting stuck in the rough. Now looking to rebound. Her bogey at the last. It's about 6 meters past the pin. Now Chung. Nicely into the fairway with a powerful drive. No doubt that this putt for Choyon is going to be on the difficult end of the spectrum. Should pick up a ton of speed as it works its way downhill. Just a little nudge to get it started, and here it comes. And that almost takes her to the fringe, and she has to come back all of a sudden. Good angle as well to show the complexity with today's pin placement. As pure as you like, Chung joins her teammates in the fairway. She'll know she still has a few more in the holster. On pace for a 69, 67 is her highest round of the tournament. And Sungi is next to test rather. A very, very tricky 14th hole. Luckily, with the way her line was set up, wasn't so much at the risk of falling off like Choyon had done. So it's a par for her, and 15 is next. Expertly played. That's a brilliant putt. Gets her back in the birdie race and takes her to 4th position on the leaderboard. And on 15, Matasson flies to the first couple feet past the fringe and headed towards the opposite end of it. The downslope brings her closer to the middle. She hands back Jeong the lead with one fewer hole to recover with a miss here. And she's pulled it to the inside. It's the first bogey of the day. It comes in the final handful of holes. between clubs. Let's see if she makes the right decision. Right to left breeze, Chung Ji here. The 3.5 meter drop to the hole certainly affects the decision. She's gone with pitch and wedge. She went to try and attack the pin. Couldn't keep it on the green, however.
실례하겠습니다.
So we got Young fresh off her birdie. Starts it off with a nice drive, and now Mata Som is trying to keep pace. Tied for fourth, her third birdie of the back nine. It was a fairly quiet opening half of the round. On a bounce back mission, and just able to reach the fairway. We go back to 14. Park Ji-young currently tied for the best round of the day with Cho Ayan and Park Young at 5 under. Doesn't look like she's going pin seeking. Playing a little conservative. And that's a really helpful roll. Makes you a bit more confident to play the speed, knowing that a miss won't take you off to the fringe. Could build a nice little advantage for her with the birdie on hole number 14. Chung Ji at 14 under now. Lee Ga-young 13 under. 12 underscores for Kim So-yoon 2, An Sung-hee and Mata Som. Hong Jung-min and Pug Shin-shil completes the top 9. Park Young and Lee Da-young tied for 10th at 9 under par. up to 23 degrees Celsius and hardly a cloud in the sky. It's a good day for a dip in the pond as we near the top of the clock, just about 3 p.m. local time in Incheon. We are at par 4 14th. And the first to play is Chung Ji. A lofted ball up towards the pin, nearly holes out. From that stretch of rough with that downslope, up and down from off the green would be entirely welcome. Joyan's approach looking to be back left. And a little bit short. She kicks off the fringe and will just avoid the sand, but with that bit of grass, she might prefer the bunker. She was due for a bit of a regression. It's just coming at an unfortunate time in the round. Jeong looking for birdie. Make it a two-stroke advantage, but a very, very challenging putt. Only 9 birdies here all day, and that is why you have to be perfect. She'll settle for par. A little bit longer off the tee, not as long as Unsung-yi, but should help to make this approach a lot less dangerous in terms of an unforeseen kick. Despite the wind, the backspin keeps her on and putting. And the umbrellas are out for the sun. It's starting to be a cooker out here. On 18 with Uni Na, she is 8 under, 2 under for the day after going 3 over yesterday. Was our leader after round 1. Drops that in just past pin high, and a birdie would bring her back inside the top 10. So as the short putts for par are wrapped up, we will take you through hole number 15. The long perimeter sand trap along the left side of the fairway. And for the top right corner, none of them should be in much danger of being met. From the middle portion of the fairway, you descend to the bottom stage of this hole, all the way out towards the expressway bordering the yellow sea and the pin. We draw a line basically straight from the left side of the U on the front. And you march 24 paces, and you'll find yourself at the flagstick. Chung first to find the fairway. picked up and dropped back down to about 4 meters left of the pin from our vantage point at the rear of the green. Also skirting the left side. Chung and company are away on the march. So he nearly had it there. Couldn't hang on to the line all the way through. Birdie hopes rest on the shoulders of ENG. Downhill putt that should have a little right to left break, 3.1 meters. And just a bit too much. Drops top to bottom, catches the edge, but will not fall. To avoid a bogey again. And she goes uphill and she overhits, slipping off to the left, and uncharacteristic, almost unthinkable considering those 5 birdies in a row. The driver's gone a bit cold and the putter to match. Must have this to stay in the fight. It's disappointing results, down to 14 under. has her par. And on to the next. We, in the meantime, will go back to 18. This is Junina looking to get back into the top 10 with a birdie. Just misses. So today with 4 birdies and 2 bogeys, tied for 13th at 8 under. To conclude the day for Idayon at that score that Junina was chasing, a 69 with 3 birdies and not a single bogey to be inside the top 10 heading into the final round. Much more practiced distance for a par 3 at 150 meters. And the Mediheal cart. Players can march up the stairs and pick up a couple of products. Today, sunscreen, big time. Much needed. Young begins, and we head out to 15. Chung powering up through the legs and stopping that just 2 meters short of her birdie. And that could be a big boost heading into the final 3 holes of the round. Has not found one of those since hole number 10. Young's ball flight, flashing a little left to right. She comes up significantly shorter than Chung Yoon-ji, and that will give more of a sense of par. Joyan has selected 6-iron. Again, she cannot get the ball to stick. So she joins. Made off the green and just needs to find a way to settle things down a bit. So the advantage or the deficit, depending on how you look at it, shouldn't be changing. Park Ji-young not really in a position to birdie. Expecting right to left and uphill. Played it straighter than what was required to give herself a chance. So it is a 2-putt par. She'll remain at 16 under 4. The entry into the final little lap around this course. Par 3, par 4, par 5. And at 18. Young, she is at 5 under par for the day, or for the round, excuse me. But +2 prior to this hole, so 73. It is up to a tie for 20th. 4 bogeys on the day, 3 on the front 9. Nice recovery to shore things up a little bit heading into tomorrow's final round. Young digs into the sand trap. Take it up and down and close. That is the goal and that is the result. Just needs to stop there. Doesn't slide any further. It's a makeable par. Joyan stumbling, Park Ji-young cooling off a little bit. An opportunity for Chung to move within 1. Less than 2 meters. Slight uphill putt. And she's dialed it. Number 4 today. Make for a very exciting final push. Slightly off balanced setup here from the rough. Playing as a pitch, but let's see where it ends up. Bump and run, excuse me, as opposed to the pitch, knowing how much yardage she needed to cover. So we'll head back to number 18. And Chung to put herself in a tie for 8th position. A downhill putt. The line has to be perfect. Nearly was, but she loops out. And she matches her performance from yesterday with a 70, 67, 70, and 70. For 207 strokes at the 75% mark. If nothing else, giving the players something to do while they wait. She's tied for 4th at the minute. Looking to avoid bogey. Yes, just. Great putt. Needed that to stay within 3. Bungshin Shield on 17, and we'll get that extra little push towards the back right corner and the flag. It's a nice on. The only player currently at 10 under par. Now Choi on her putt to save par, uphill left to right. Important to avoid dropping another. And hopefully for her sake a little confidence can be built from that. Staying loose, staying ready. The green light soon to be turned on, and Chung pulls the iron out of her bag while everyone else gets their final reads of the green. Drops that onto the front left of the green. Putting into the wind, it'll be about 11 meters. Chung is next. 7-iron, her selection. Better depth, but that sweeping right to left as it comes downhill, very much involved. It's an opportunity slip. Looking like that's disappeared off to the right. It's interesting, 17 playing 34 meters longer today than the first 2 rounds. And getting settled into a groove here. Distinction between each of the top 4. Lee Dayan joining the top 10, Hong Jung Min the same, Chung and Su also up there with Park Yen Gyung, all at 9 under, trailing Park Ji Young's score of 16 under, which remains the score to match here on Saturday. home stretch here on the Sky Course at Club 72. 3 holes to play. Kim Soo-yoon 2, the first to look at a birdie on the final par 3 of the afternoon. She comes all the way up from the back of the green, but cannot get it to drop. Stops about 12 inches short. At 8.1 meters, Chung Yoon-ji's look at a birdie just short. Choyeon with a 5-wood playing her second. We'll stop just past the fringe. That extra length today is obviously impacting the club selection, but the wind is making that rear pin placement very difficult to stay on. Pak Jeong with another opportunity to extend her lead to 2. Yes! 17 under with a very nice birdie. It's her second time birdieing a par 3 today. It's all about the tee shot to start this off. Gives her a little bit more breathing room. First shot, Young finds the fairway bunker. She's spent a lot of time in the sand today. She's gonna probably weigh half a kilo more before she empties out her shoes at the end of the round. Chung Yoon-ji now trails by 3. It will be 4 if she misses this putt. Oops, it does the 360 to drop. Apologies, she had been at 15. The leaderboard hadn't quite updated before that putt. But it is a gap now of 2 thanks to Pak Jeong's birdie. So the difference in distance is key to make note of. 351 this par 17 had played in rounds 1 and 2, a 34-meter boost to just make reaching the green a little bit more challenging in this final round. In between the bunkers, it's around 130 meters to go. Fairway winds and rolls and narrows just before the green. If you're right of the cart path, you're not finding your ball. It's as simple as that. If you're left, well, you are looking towards the sand trap and a steep drop off towards the water. The pin today, it is 6 yards from the back of the green and 6 yards from the rear of it as well. She finds the drain cover. Young gets her free relief. It's left to right wind and switching from a headwind to a crosswind. It's definitely blustery. We have it at 2.7 meters per second at the moment. That's of course the average of the whole course. It's enough to be impactful. She's waiting for the group before them to clear out. Call that 2/3 of a swing. And basically finds the middle of this green. And yes, she's got to empty out those shoes.
여기서 가까우니까 핸드폰 좀 내려주세요. 부탁드리겠습니다.
So we move up to the back teeing ground today. It's a really nice angle to show you the huge change in elevation. Chung has the honor. And she is drifting towards the rough, but will stay in with a well-struck drive. The cut, of course, an option, but really tough to get it right and quite costly if you get it wrong.
나 이제 누르지 말아주세요.
Aiming for the bunker, knowing she won't reach it. Drops it in just behind Chung. Let's go to 18. Machine Shields approach. 2 bogeys on this back 9. The only birdie at 11. Might be able to bookend it with number 5 after that great shot to about 5 meters away. Joya chipping from the fringe. It's a little quick. Hasn't found a birdie since number 11 and has 2 bogeys in that span as well.
하겠습니다. 멈춰주세요.
Young has been bogey free today. 5.4 meters that she has to navigate to keep that streak going. Coming back to the right, but not quite in time. Han Sung-hee inspecting, looking for some damage. Might have peeled some of the plastic back when she dropped onto that drain cover.
중앙에서만 보면 될 것 같아.
And Choi-yeon has missed another. The supporters applaud, maybe more for motivation than anything, but that is 3 bogeys in a 4-hole span. She has definitely been streaky today.
알겠습니다.
Bogey at 17 for Ega Young as well. That drops her to 12 under par. This has got missed as well. Jin Shield can't avoid the bogey curse. There's no doubt the fairway is starting to get pretty chewed up. So she gets her relief from the divot. The first approach belongs to Kim So-yoon 2. She goes into the hillside rough. 6 birdies here at 17 today. 177 and 4 meters to climb for Chung G, also going off the back. So from the 6 birdies in round 3, you can tell the fairly significant change as we've had 47 combined in each of the 3 rounds. Sixteen of those coming yesterday. Park Ji-young, if she can get it to stick, she could be absolutely laughing. And despite the gallery with shouts to stop, each of the 3 members of our feature group rolling off into the rough. We go to 18 in the meantime, after a disappointing series of putts at the last. This is Matasom for a par. Out with a 35, in with a 34. 69, 3 under par score. Tied for 5th position, Pengxin Shil. Is going to drop another very disappointing end to the day. She's suffering a similar fate to Cho Ayan. Stays in the top 10, but the birdie stopped from 11. And she cards 3 bogeys on the way in to go 38 after 33 first half. 71 is her highest score of the day, and she's gone 67, 69, 71 now, picking up 2 per round. Let's hope for her sake that that trend does not continue tomorrow. The final hole, this 530-meter par 5 begins. And with it, a clear picture of what our groups will look like tomorrow. It is Park Ji-young from Chung Yoon-ji, Choyan Matasom, and Lee Ga-young. Kim So-yoon 2 hanging on for a share of 4th position. One final break. When we come back, we will conclude this 3rd round, roll through some round highlights, and set you up for tomorrow's Championship Sunday in Incheon. And welcome back to Club 72. Final hole of the day, the 54th for these athletes of the week. Joanne down to 3rd position. That is where she started the day, but considering the stretch she had played and was very much locked into about an hour and a half ago, this will be a disappointing end to the day. That had been the end result for Chung on the 17th. Igayan is on pace for her 2nd best round of the tournament. Just the 1 bogey today. She plays her 2nd shot from the rough and goes all the way down to the end of the fairway. 530 meters makes this the longest hole on the course. A half a kilometer walk and change to the green where tomorrow's champion will be unveiled. 4 bunkers in this first stretch of fairway off to the left, the big hazard off to the right. 250 meters from the tee is the end of the last fairway bunker on the left. And from that narrow little stretch over the cart path and into the wide and welcoming 2nd fairway with the pond to the right. Here we go all the way to the end of this fairway. It is 80 meters short of the front side of the green. And then approaching down between 5 sand traps with the pin placement today, 9 yards off the front and 7 yards from the left side of the green.
핸드폰 소리 안 나게 좀 부탁드리겠습니다. 들어가겠습니다.
Chung first to play and a little bit anxious as to where this will land. Towards the tree off the fairway left.
들어가겠습니다. 이제 누르지 말아주세요.
나이스, 나이스, 나이스.
Suffering belonging to Chung Ji, who has donned the shades for this final hole. Those two players, they were co-leaders after 36 holes. A little bit of separation found between them today. And now Joyeon playing her approach shot from the rough. Wind is right to left. The distance is 103 meters. Pitching it high up in the air and will just get onto the green. Hadn't given it a full swing either. With another crack at it, she might go for a little extra. Kim So-yoon too, who, along with Yoonina, was the co-leader after round one, has only found 2 strokes today and finds herself currently in the rough. Young. She arrives on the green. Sung-hee has been the quietest of anyone inside of the top 10. On pace for a 71. Gave it a go. Would have brought her a bit closer, but of course, depending on how Bak Ji-young finishes, will be trailing by 7 strokes. Joyeon will be right back in it, and she should be expecting to jump into the featured group tomorrow. Her 68th stroke of the day. Can she do what she hasn't done since hole number 11, and that is find a birdie? She's made some improbable ones today. But it will be a par. Compared to the groove she had been in, pretty lackluster finish. 3 bogeys from hole number 14. She picks up the par. It is a round of 69, 32 on the way out, but over par on the way in. 13 under after 54 holes. That's 203 strokes. Second shots for our final group, 293 for Chung. Slightly off the mark. Sungi also off on her last putt. Make sure she stays on the top 5, taking a little extra time to read what she will be hoping is her final shot. It is a par save. And she was never confident with it. And she will be going down. So now on for minimum of 70. That'll drop her to 6th. Sungi also going to be dropping as she bogeys the final hole. A 72 today. Out with the 34, but in with a 38. Similar struggles to the player she just offers a hug to, Cho Ayeon. 207, so tied for 7th with Park Yang-kyung, Chang Eun-soo, Hong Jung-min, Lee Dae-yeon, and Bang Shin-shil. Lee Dae-yeon had been bogey-free since hole number 12 of the first round until the previous hole concluded. And unfortunately, back to back to wrap up the day. 34 out, 36 in, a 70, and 11 under par, with 1 round to play. Fair Choyan will be just fine losing the bogey balls. Didn't bring her a ton of luck. And it'll make a supporter's day, so it's a win-win. Chung, the first to approach from our final group. She's not going to be able to clear the fringe. The backspin takes her back onto it. That is exactly how it's done. To the delight of the gallery behind the green, our leader delivers one last highlight reel shot for the day. Soyun 2 is the final approach, and the chips and putts are next. Really good opportunity for Park Ji-young to move to 18 under par. One more look at the approach. That was an excellent one. Didn't have the dramatic run of birdies. In fact, hasn't birdied consecutively all day long, but more than enough to be comfortably ahead and would be on for a 65 if she can birdie to finish. It would be sandwiched between her first round and second round scores. Chung Yoon-ji off the green. Never say never in terms of a chip or a putt to hole out from the fringe, but it will be a healthy margin for Park Ji-young as she looks to defend her title from 2022 and get into the top 10 for the first time this season. Tied for 16th in Singapore, Blue Canyon Ladies Championship tied for 50th, and then last week tied for 19th. Teddy Valley. The offering from the fringe is a good one. Should set up a par no problem. And it would make it a 68. But she'll mark off and clean the golf ball, wipe off the putter, and observe. She'll be wondering as much as you at home, me in the commentary booth, and the fans behind the green, what the deficit will be to start the day tomorrow. And for Kim So-yoon too, if she can birdie and share third with Cho-Ayan and maybe keep the groups the same. First putt belongs to Kim So-yoon, 2 steps out. And the fans at the bridge are asked to remove themselves from the horizon. As our official scorer would know with his Houston Astros jersey. In Major League Baseball, they have the batter's eye. Similar here. To distract your line, your angle, and your execution. But it's a bit too straight. A miss to the outside left, and she stays tied for 4th with the tap-in birdie for a round of 70. 16 pars on the day, birdies at 10 and 11. Will she be 5 back? Will she be 6 back? That is the question for Park Ji-young to try and provide an answer to next. And back when this competition was held at Payram, which it was for the first 2 years of its existence, Park Ji-young won the event with the score of 18 under par. But she'll be starting the day at 17 under. A huge sigh of relief for Chung Yoon-ji. Been her 7th birdie of the day. In fact, and this is the most impressive thing about her tournament thus far, 54 holes, 0 bogeys, 17 birdies, and 37 pars. That is as consistent as you could possibly ask for. Secures her par for a round of 68. 2 birdies on each, the front and the back. And we'll start the day 2 strokes off of Park Ji-young after being level with her when the round began. 37th par for Park Ji-young. Another brilliant day out here at Club 72. 33 out, 33 in. If you're a fan of symmetry, you'd be a big fan of what Park Ji-young has been able to do. So the groups, the fields of which we had 62 qualify, the caddies, the scores, the patrons all head to the clubhouse for a break from the sun. We will go through our third round highlights. First birdie of the day came on the par 5 third for Park Ji-young. She would take the lead from there and not relinquish it. She would have to share it at times, like she had been doing when she addressed this approach shot at 5. The backspin to keep it maybe 10 centimeters out from an eagle. Would have her tap in from there. Then on number 8, Choayan. This is when her spree really got kick-started. Still yet to see the official yardage on that putt. See if I can find it for you as we continue to roll through the highlights, but surely the longest putt of the day. I have it pegged as 9.1 meters. Certainly felt a little bit longer than that, but take nothing away from the execution. And Chung Yoon-ji would make her presence felt with back-to-back birdies on 9 and 10. Then to hole number 11. Just off the fairway, it's a 71-meter approach shot over the large sand trap, and she just about jars another. And then we go to 13. This time, a skip off the fringe. Throws it in to climb back up to 16. It was trading shot for shot, birdie for birdie. Why not one more? Up to 17 under par, which, of course, as we now know, is where she would end the day. It could have been more. Couldn't convert on about a 6-meter putt for birdie on the last. Settles for back-to-back pars and is comfortably ahead heading to tomorrow's final round. So the leaderboard looks as such. After 54 holes of play in Chunggu, Park Ji-young with a 17 under score. That has her 2 strokes ahead of Chung Yoon-ji and Choayan to round out the podium. Definitely worth a shout out to the incredible performance from Park Young today, who out of nowhere is up 21 positions into the top 10, tied for 7th with a 67 on the day. Honorable mentions as well to several more scores of 69, including No Sung-yi, just outside of the top 10 at 8 under par. Lee Dae-yeon as well at 9 under par, tied for 7th, with a handful of players, including Pang Shin-shil, who couldn't get it going consistently today, scoring a 71. Well, that'll do it for us in our moving day coverage on Saturday, the 3rd round of the Mediheal HANKOOKILBO Championship in Incheon. On behalf of our SBS Golf crew, I thank you as always for your viewership, and we look forward to welcoming you back tomorrow. Same time, 1 p.m. local here in Korea, as we crown a champion for the 4th time this season, and maybe our first repeat winner of the season for someone who's won this event in the past. Park Ji-young in the driver's seat to do it again this year. So long, everyone. I've been Adam Jenkins, signing off from Club 72.